Happy Friday, folks. Smash the like button. Join the debate. We're linked with a bunch of fixture list has been announced. We've got a lot to cover, man. Big up everybody tuned in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Love you all. Let's get the intros done. Ever left winger Arsenal sign. I need to see this in your debut. Good players like Alexis Sanchez, Bobby Perez, and left back Deluded Dana. Come on! Come on! I mean that.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. People deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal have been linked with Kai Havertz departing and returning to Leverkusen. Barcola, people have had a lot to say, and it seems like a twist there. We've been linked with Mason Greenwood, which, again, I'm sure everybody's got an opinion on that. Arsenal summer seems like it's about to get wild. And speaking of Arsenal, the defending champions, we obviously will kick off against Coventry City, so we have to go over the fixture calendar list. Message to all rivals. You talk about my club. Half of you were celebrating when obviously Declan Rice set up a goal for England. And I've just got a simple question for you lot. If you don't like us being Premier League champions, come get it back. Let's defend this stuff. Now, there's an element of an unknown. You know, we don't know what the other teams are going to look like. They're trying to get their houses in order. We know what Arsenal are going to do. We know what we hope Mikel Arteta is going to do. So that could give you confidence or not confidence, really. But one thing's for sure, we got a target on our head. On the best of days, everyone wants to spoil Arsenal's party. We can't let them. I personally think not necessarily in reality what we see, the narrative, keywords to what I'm saying, PGMOL are going to be on us. There's no way we got another season without penalties conceded and red cards and all of that jazz. But yeah, man, Premier League minimum. I'm screaming a domestic double, man. FA Cup in the bag, bring that home. Since we've won that under Mikel Arteta every year, I've not been happy. And obviously, I want to see something I've never seen in my life at Arsenal, retaining the Premier League trophy. And I met a lot of you lot at the parade, and there's so many memories, yeah, that will stay with me. You lot gave me like a serious morale boost and a confidence boost and a strength. So I appreciate the moments we've shared. So we need to do it again. And I'm saying this, the sun is beating in the United Kingdom. Arsenal fans, we can't have one last link up. Finsbury Park is massive. We can't all just forward there, speakers, food, drink, and have a good time. I don't know. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. As I always say, I hope you're all well and safe. Hope your loved ones are all healthy and yourselves, people. So yeah, smash the like button. Big up to everyone who has. Let's see what you lot are saying in the comments before we get into all of that kind of stuff, people. Morgan Rogues. To me, I'm not sure who Morgan Rogues is, but I hope Arsenal sign Morgan Rogers. 98% done to Arsenal. Chelsea not going for them. He only wants Arsenal. Only he said that himself, DJ. I hope he did. I don't doubt it. But how many players have had their heart dead set on a move to one club? For one reason or another, it doesn't work out. You have to go somewhere else. And not only that, you know, credible sources have said, you know, what you said. But unless I'm wrong and you've got Morgan Rogers' phone number, his agent's phone number, you know better, you know Mikel Arteta, it's all hearsay. The dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. Until people are holding shirts, is what it is. Please mention Endrick. He's my only wish in this silly season, either Endrick or Boss. I'd love him. I've always dreamt of having Ozil and Sanchez type players getting their flowers, but they didn't win. We're going to look fantastic next season. No drama, just beautiful football. I can't wait. I hear you, and I don't subscribe to the logic that Arsenal don't play, you know, attractive football and all of that, because we're not as boring as people make out, even myself. We do need to go up the gears. We do need to get a lot more out of our attackers, the ones that obviously survive what we're going to do in the summer and the ones brought in. But also, I'd flip the question and say, yeah, look, take the World Cup. There's obviously been goals. There's been entertaining games. There's been, according to what countries, there's been a bunch of talking points. But in the modern day, unless it's in the second half or on the counter-attack, you don't really see beautiful football. You don't really see beautiful footballers. We're in that climate of athleticism. So it's probably naive. Eze and Rogers, I would love them, man. Man said bring in Greenwood. I don't want Greenwood, man. Bedroom talk is weird to begin with. Getting released is not good. I'm glad you're doing well. Remember to invest long-term, short-term on day one. Huh? I don't know, Martel, you lost me with the bedroom talk thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what any of that's about. But yeah, not a fan of Greenwood as a person or player. Steer clear, please, Berta. It's all free. Havertz finally sold. Arsenal won't be the club to bring him back to the UK. But you have to turn on edit mode to change any figures, prices, lineup, etc. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, but as you wish. Good afternoon, Hayden. Right back at you. Hope you're well. I'm great, man. Having a great day. I see the intro now. I'm completely blown out of my mind. Appreciate it. Punch up the like button like it's a Spurs fan. Please sell Havertz. I can't lie, man. I'm keeping Havertz for at least a year, man. I do think he can help us across the season, if I'm honest. Seeing the fixture, I think you mean list. We don't leave London over the Christmas period. We're retaining this thing. Big up yourself, 2-3. Nice to see you at the parade. Rodgers and Barcola to Arsenal. We move. If Havertz goes, does that mean my dream summer signing will come in Kroopy? I don't think the two are interlinked, but who wouldn't? Big up yourself, K. London KDR, appreciate you. We should get Kenan Yildiz as a Martinelli replacement. To what we're seeing online, the Kenan Yildiz thing, there's an appreciation at Arsenal. We've obviously tried to begin some level of dialogue with Juventus, and they've shut it down. We all know the Italian teams in the Italian league is struggling financially. Juventus are not in the Champions League. They'll move heaven and earth. They will probably, certain people connected to Juventus will probably sell family members before they get rid of Kylian Yildiz. If we could bring that, I would love that. But it's a non-story, innit? Like, again, nobody signed for our football club, bar Hincapié, technically, as we make it permanent. The most, I mean, as an armchair expert, I only really give any thought to sniffing around Barcola, to sniffing around Morgan Rogers. Obviously, the Greek youth, that's at Club Brugge. That's probably it. I might have missed one name out, or Jeremy Monga, things of that ilk, people. So, yeah, what do you lot make of the fixture list? I'm going to read it out first before we get into it. In August, we begin the Premier League campaign against Coventry at home. Then we go to Aston Villa away. Our third game of the season in September on the 5th is going to be Chelsea at home. Then we have Sunderland away and Brighton away. October sees Leeds United at home, Nottingham Forest away, Everton at home, and then Liverpool away. So back-to-back competition, fixtures against the Merseyside sides. November, you've got Hull at home. You've got a trip to Newcastle away, in which that was, Newcastle away was probably in the Premier League. That's the one I'll remember. Like, if we go 20, obviously I don't know what 20 years are going to look like, but 20 years from now, if I remember nothing of the 2025-26 season, well, there's probably 3 games. I would remember Newcastle away. I'm probably going to remember Bournemouth. Bournemouth at home. I'm definitely going to remember Wolves away. And I'm going to remember Bournemouth drawing against Manchester City in it. But yeah, November, Hull City at home, Newcastle away, Manchester City at home. Should have beat them last year. December, which naturally we're going to look at the December/April, May, because that's the business. They're the kind of, like in December, you can't win a league title, but you might look back in hindsight and you lost it. April and May, that's obviously the business end, in it is self-explanatory. Brentford away, nobody wants to go there. Tottenham hot shite, first North London derby. Do you know what? The North London derbies, one's in December, one's in May. Now, I stand to be corrected, but it feels like we run them kind of games a lot earlier than we're seeing. But yeah, Brentford and Spurs away. So 2 London derbies away from home back-to-back. Bournemouth at home, Man United at home, in which, Bournemouth at home, Man United at home, they were sour moments in Arsenal's calendar last season. Crystal Palace away, Fulham away. January sees Ipswich at home, Brentford at home, Hull away, Newcastle United at home, Manchester City at the Etihad. And I say this every year. Arsenal, please, because technically our top 6 record of the last 3 years wasn't probably the best last season. We didn't win at the Etihad and we didn't win at Anfield. But I'm going to say this because I say this every year. Please, can we win at Anfield and at the Etihad? Them hoodoo things need to go now, innit? But yeah, nonetheless, Ipswich at home, Brentford at home, Hull at home. Hull away, Newcastle at home. Then after Newcastle at home, you've got Manchester City away. Now, this is where it starts to get techie because, you got the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League. Obviously, we don't know the dynamics, who's injured, who's fit, whose form's there, who's not. But December is a bit of wear and tear, and as is January the same. You've just got to muck through it. So at the end of January, beginning of February, you've got Manchester City away and Liverpool at home. So immediately my antennas are up. So far of what we've read, I would say I don't know how to feel. I'm not necessarily negative, but, of the first 5 games, 3 are away from home, 2 are at home. Then, obviously, January 30th, we've got Manchester City away. Then you've got Liverpool at home. That's the first time where I'm like, oh, how's that going to play out? Then you've got Ipswich Town away. Then you've got Fulham at home. Then we've got to go to Old Trafford and play Man United away from home, where we don't have the best of records, but we did win there and we won the league there. We won it at Anfield. Yeah, you know the song, smash the like button if you do. March. Crystal Palace at home, Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. The last 3 years, I have not been happy with our performances at Stamford Bridge. That needs to change. Sunderland at home. April sees on the 10th. And again, they don't get hung up on the dates. We all know, depending on what we do in competitions and TV rights, games are going to change. But April, the best month of the year, my birthday month. Coventry City away from home, which I'd love for Gyökeres to bag there. You've got Aston Villa at home. You've got Bournemouth away. I mean, every away game, my antennas are up. But I'd say Bournemouth away is the one where I'm like, ooh, because they make it difficult for everyone. Now, granted, I don't know what Bournemouth look like. You know, they've lost a couple of players. Areola's gone to Liverpool, so you get where I'm going. The end of the season, May times, you've got the North London derby at home, you've got Leeds away, you've got Nottingham Forest at home, you've got Everton away, and on the final day of the season, you've got Brighton now. May on paper, Leeds United, they might be fighting relegation, fighting for their lives, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be techie. North London derby, you know what we do. They're going to get beaten up, but they are going to be dramatically better. They've got, like Chelsea. And you know what? If I had to put money, I'd say Chelsea finish above Spurs. But based on the links around Spurs, they've got De Zerbi. One commonality both of those teams have, in that Chelsea are a serious football club, Spurs aren't. They've got one game a week. So I do think De Zerbi's going to work his magic. I think with De Zerbi, honestly, I think with De Zerbi at Spurs, there's no in between. I think they're either going to, become serious, quote unquote, again, not Pochettino days, but be mentioned around that. Well, that's the best it's been for them. Or De Zerbi will cut midway through the season. Leeds away, self-explanatory. Nottingham Forest at home. Everton away, horrible. We had to get Penny and get out of there. And then we ended at Brighton. So for me, I think, you know what? The way they've scattered the games, it's all right, man. Naturally, social media would have you believe. People are saying Arsenal and Man United got the easiest fixtures. Man United got a very favourable run. But everybody, we all know this. Everyone's got to play each other twice. Everybody's got a little cluster where they're like, oh, what's going to happen there? So for me, naturally, I'd say the December period. Because on paper, I'm quite confident against any of those sides. But you fuck about, these teams can harm you, innit? And not only that, we would have played a lot of football. There would have been, forgive me if I'm wrong, by the time December comes, there'd be 2 international breaks, innit? Like September, I'm sure there's a next one. But the December period, it comes to mind. For me as well, I would actually say, obviously, Newcastle at home is mad. The whole of January is mad. But I would say, in particular, Manchester City away on the 30th. And then probably until from the 30th of January. So like here. So yeah, you would obviously play City, Liverpool, Ipswich, Fulham, Newcastle, Manchester United. Apologies. There'll be other games and other comps sandwiched in between. All the way to Chelsea away. That's the ones that I'm thinking, ooh, what's going on there type of thing, man. Spurs already made 3 signings. They're going to be serious. You know, big signings. Obviously, nobody knows, but Senesi is a good signing. Very good with a ball at his feet. I can understand why De Zerbi would be attracted to him. Obviously, they brought him in for free. Not that I want to talk about Spurs. I think Robertson arguably could have been Liverpool's first choice left back last season. Big character in the dressing room. You know, if they get Tonali and Fernandes, obviously, if you do the name brand thing, oh, scary. But those are 2 profiles they probably need, and 2 profiles that have more longevity and type of thing. So I am wary, and I say wary, not scared, but I am curious to see what Chelsea and Spurs look like, because obviously they're playing 1 game a week. Curious to see how not only Manchester United, but Manchester United, Carrick, and their players play more than 40 games. Obviously, I still think City are going to be up there. You know what, Maresca wanted that job for a while. He's like Arteta and company and these kind of managers. They're from that City school of thought. They've obviously got good teams still. They're obviously bringing in players. They got to sort themselves out defensively. Obviously, signings is one thing, but it's more the coaching. They're going to be up there. Areola's interesting at Liverpool, if I'm brutally honest, because if it was just in terms of coaching, he'll have them playing better than Slot had them in Slot's keyword second season, because he's a coach. We all looked at Liverpool last season for all their attack, and obviously the players have to take responsibility because of how the recruitment works. You can't just pin the blame on Slot in it, but fundamentally, this is football. The manager's always going to be gone. When you looked at Liverpool last season, cool. They won their first 5 games. They kept Salah. You know, they obviously spent a lot of money on attackers, but they weren't a good attacking side. They're not a good defensive side. So I do think Areola will make them a lot more difficult to play. But as you know, Areola's never had a job of that caliber where it is about coaching, it is about management, but everything is scrutinized down to your press conferences. So every other team, literally of the traditional top 6, apart from Arsenal, there's an element of the unknown. But in life, you focus on yourself, we'll be all right. We know what we're good at. Take that to high heights. We know the evident areas of improvement. Take that to higher heights. Players individually, and I'm more defenders. You know what you need to do. Midfielders, you know what you need to do. Zubi, let's get back to it. Odegaard, let's get back to it. Eze, show me a bit more consistency. Lewis Skelly, when you get your chance, keep taking it. Declan Rice, you're Declan Rice. You don't, it is what it is. My attackers, though, because you all had moments, and history is going to be kind. I'm excluding Max Dowman. He's young, he's 16. Big him up for the Everton game. I'm happy that a lot of these moments go down in history. Eze, North London derby, Gyökeres bagging 1-2 goals, Max Dowman against Everton. You know, you get where I'm going. So all of our attackers, apart from Ethan, who went out alone, they all had moments, right? They all had moments, keyword moments. I need greater consistency, whether you're at this football club or you're coming in. A lot of it is with the players, but also Mikel Arteta. I don't quite subscribe to the rhetoric of handbrake down and all of this, but we know what needs to be tweaked. We know what needs to, he knows more, most importantly. So take it to another level, people. That's just where I'm at. So it's gonna be an interesting season, man, because even if you look at the relegation race, there'll always be a team that you didn't think would get relegated. And, let's let the transfer period pass and then we'll start doing prediction videos and all of that. But people probably assume the teams who got promoted, they'll be straight back down. I will be looking at Sunderland because they did so good last season, excelled in expectations. But I remember we've seen this. A team gets promoted, they're doing well. The next season, a bit of a slugfest. And you've got to remember the sheer amount of games that certain men are playing. So, yeah, man, let me know what you lot are saying with the international break before we move on. All right, afternoon social joins. Another one I was with at the parade. Where did you go? After I was with you, where did you go? You're going on like, I don't know what you're on about there, man. Like, you're just, Warren, I'm not here for the touchy stuff, man. I just said I'm curious. Carrick has never played more than 3 times a week. Man United need a bigger squad. Like, I can't lie. What I said is facts. I didn't say no one's going to rub out. Like, please, man, it's a nice day. I know you look like to troll, but if please, you just smash the like button. Can we just not chat shit for one day? Like, for one day. Allow me, man. I don't care if Greenwood's a baller. There's other options. If you actually want to support this guy, your morals are screwed. I knew when I saw that Greenwood news that would get you lot talking. Let's get those likes up, people. Vamos, as Noni and everyone connected to Arsenal say. Michael, appreciate you. I don't want to sell Ethan, but I just think you might have to go. Like, you might be gone in it, if I'm completely honest. Rice 6, MLS 8, Rogers 10, Saka, Osimhen, Greenwood, Eze, Ethan, Dowman off the bench. Greenwood to my club. I'm not having it. The backlash, and at some point he's going to be back in the UK in it, but boy. It's these kind of things. Why are we actually considering them Peckham Reds for the title? I'm not. I'm just United fans said next season they're going to be on it. Me, I'm just focused on Arsenal. We're at the mountaintop. How do we get better? Because I want, if we believe, even though it's not going to be like this, if we get into a situation like Liverpool the season before, run away with it. History is kind, because ultimately, for all the doom and gloom, what happened against Wolves, what happened against Bournemouth, I remember specific moments where I was frustrated. Definitely Liverpool away, I was vexed with Mikel Arteta and the players. I was vexed with you in the home game. I don't know if I've said it, but Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Aston Villa was a tough one to take because of the last minute one. So there's been bumps and bruises along the road, didn't it? And we've obviously won the most games and lost the least. So it's not all been perfect, but ultimately we won. And for all the talk, we finished 7 points clear. But in reality, we was running away with it, quote unquote. We let the door back in, quote unquote. It did feel like the tide was kind of turning around. Yeah, it would have been around April because we were crap in April. Harden was doing the most and singing and they were doing all that stuff. People thought the tide was turning. So we just need to run with it if we can, because I see no reason why we can't retain it. If we don't retain it, it's an issue. But in general, the hardest thing to do is retain it. That's why you have to rate whatever they did, what Pep did, what Ferguson did. We've never done that. I actually think we have in the 30s, but come on, we haven't done that. And I'm not saying, I actually don't agree with this, but in terms of a conversation, I don't think Kroenke wants to rest. Whether it works or not, I think the intention is there to salvage the present, because we do at Arsenal do a lot of talking about the past, do a lot of talking about the future. Prior to this season, we've never seized the present type of thing. So I have no doubt, and I think the club have earned my confidence, and maybe some of you lot as well, because when it's doom and gloom, I've got a lot to say. I don't doubt Berta, Arteta, Josh Kroenke, everyone who's involved, their intention to get better and better. But as a football club, generally, when we've had success, whether that's the FA Cups, whether that's when we've won the Premier League, we've never. It's like we've got there and we've never tried to get more of it. It's like we've got there and it's kind of gone down. Well, it has gone downhill, isn't it? If you win a Premier League and then don't win it, it is a backward step, in it. So yeah, man, is what it is. It's very balanced fixtures, and we've got to remember the thing with this football thing. On paper is one thing. You might go and batter City like we did a few years ago. You might lose to Ipswich, or you might have them booky little 0-0s. Remember, like I mentioned, Wolves away. We're 2 goals up, and on paper we should be winning that. Remember Wolves at home, where got away with one. That's the beautiful thing about the Premier League. Brighton away wasn't, it was we had to kind of do what we needed to do. There's a couple of those games. I'd say, regardless of how it pans out, one thing for me is, obviously, we're one of the most spoken about football clubs. Obviously, we know the journey Mikel Arteta has been on in the last 4 years. Obviously, of the four, we've obviously got over the line in it, but we had 3 years of ultimately second in it, like ultimately second, just not getting there. You add in everything you see in the present day, you throw on the cloud of 22 years. I do think there's that was the element from the fans, the players, the club, and whatnot. So I do think like a weight's been lifted off our shoulders. I think there's no longer imposter syndrome. I think we can breathe and relax, sort of thing. There's gonna be dark moments. There's gonna be happy moments. Show me a team that's it's all their fans have been singing and happy in August, and then obviously in May. So yeah, and it'll be interesting because obviously we can't pick when we play teams in it, but it's a weird one because ultimately we didn't beat City in the league, but the City side we played or how they maneuvered that in the game at the Emirates was very different to the Etihad. I think we went Newcastle away at the right time, and probably some teams might have even played us at the right time as well. Like maybe Bournemouth caught us because take nothing away from Bournemouth's players or Areola, they can them prior to him going to Liverpool, they could beat everyone. But we was nervous, we was anxious. With, on one hand, we're focusing on the 90 minutes and the game we're playing, but we're all doing algebra, like City are playing at 5 o'clock if we get 3 points. And some of you do that thing where goal difference, I told you goal difference is relevant, but it's not. Rocking the bucket hat like schoolboy Q. I can't lie, man. I think I'm in my hat era. I've got a bunch of bucket hats now, and I think I'm just going to get more New Era hats. I don't know. I just woke up one day like, yeah, man, I'm going back to when I used to wear hats. DG, bro, I wouldn't take Greenwood. I'm going to save my thoughts until that section in it. But yeah, keep your thoughts coming. Anyone who would say yes to Mason Greenwood at Arsenal have no idea about the history of this club and our principles. I would generally say the element of football. I know whatever club you support, there's tribalism. We think everything's great. Remember, these clubs are establishments with individuals. Remember, football is a dirty game, like any industry. I don't think, I'm not suggesting you get where I'm going, but morality, morals, and football, it's a grey area, innit? It's a grey area. It's a grey area, man. I'm here, Slimsy, man. I hope you're doing well and safe. Would you say Rodgers and Bellingham have similarities? Yeah, they're very different. They've got the ability to score goals. They've got legs. They've got technical quality. They're both running behind, but they're very different. Man said the stuff for love, brother. No to Greenwood. Barcola's a baller, but Greenwood not going to come back to England. He knows the drama it will bring. He'll end up in Turkey, Saudi. Why Arsenal fans still upset? No one wants you to win no one wants you to win. England not winning nothing. I don't know what you're on about, Warren, but if I don't really care what other fans have to say. Football pure is great. If you don't want Arsenal to win, and I'm not saying this to you, but like, I'm not gonna die. You're not involved with us. You haven't been with the blood, sweat, and tears. You weren't there crying tears of joy when after 22 years. You weren't on this channel when we was having happiness and several other content creators channels. Nor was you at the Emirates, whether it was the Tuesday it was confirmed or that same week on the Sunday or on the Sunday of the parade. You didn't have the lows of the Champions League final. I guess that's the diplomatic route. Now I'm gonna how I normally speak. If you do not like Arsenal, that's great. Suck your mum through a dirty straw. Simple as that. Like, A's up to be freeze up. Corner boys in the building. If you don't want us to win, that's great. Come on, players want to win. The fans want to win. And we're finally on task. Just come get your shit back. Whoever this is, I don't know, man. I'm seeing Liverpool and City. Some love it. They said it was a rivalry. Some love it thing. That's great. Liverpool couldn't defend their team. They called their big brother City. City got slapped. United fans are happy that they beat us at home and Bruno got an assist. Don't want to talk on Spurs dead food. We're letting Chelsea get away with murder because they were screaming they're in the title race when they beat us 1-1 and we're down to 10 men. Then they actually 10's an iconic number. They finished 10th. Fuck the pagans. Matter of fact, fuck every one of the 19 teams. It's as simple as that. Like, just come get this shit. It's in M5, man. Dalman's controlling it. He's summer holiday soon. Just come get it back, man. Allow me. That's it. It's simple as that. Just come get your shit back, B. We ain't in no dramas, you know. Anyways, though, smash the like button. Keep going. Let's keep going, people. So, yeah, our first 10 fixtures, Coventry City, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Sunderland, Brighton, Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, Everton, Liverpool, Hull. Now, I mentioned the 10 games because that's for me when so by the time Hull comes or after the whole game, that's when the season starts for me personally. That is when the season starts. Everybody says this, but I'm going to remind everyone, I probably say it every year. Pre-season is not some magical place, regardless of what team you support. Think about, quote unquote, the negatives or the areas of improvement that you thought come the season is done, right? Pre-season, especially because there's a World Cup. But on the best of days, if there's no World Cup and every player is available, right? It's not some magic place you go to for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all the wrongs are written and you're amazing. There's going to be various degrees of physical fitness, players needing to adapt, all of that kind of jazz. And we've got to remember, you know, Liverpool, they won their first 5 games before people setting in. And then what happened? I'm not saying that's going to happen to them, but again, for me, that's when the season starts. Not saying you can play these games and not win and all of those things, but 10 games in. And we have to wonder what the season's going to look like initially for Arsenal. We hear rumours around Saliba and surgery. I am watching Gabriel Magalhaes in particular during this World Cup. Timber, if you know, people kind of had a lot to say about when he was withdrawn from the Dutch side, and the way he was speaking didn't scream like someone that's going to be fit for the start of the season. Ben White might go. Benjamin White is still here, but we don't know what his thing is saying. Bukayo Saka's minutes are going to have to be managed very carefully, not just during this World Cup. Don't need to tell you about Rice. And obviously, depending on whatever country these guys represent, and even Odegaard to a degree, but whatever country these guys represent, how long are they going to play in the World Cup? And when are they going to be back for Arsenal? Are we going to do the Wenger thing where regardless from the point that your tournament stopped, whether you was playing in the Copa America, World Cup, Euros, whatever have you, and you're getting that 2 weeks, I don't know, people. But player welfare has gone out the window, bro. If you was, imagine for, like, if you're a player in the Premier League, all of them anyways, but Declan Rice, before a ball was kicked in the champs, you're talking 55, 60 games. If you're a player, I don't know, and you're playing in the Premier, like, let's just go back to last summer where you had the Club World Cup, another expanded competition. But let's just say you played all them games there. You've obviously played the whole Premier League season. There's been international friendlies and all of that qualification jazz. Then you've obviously got the World Cup. Now you're back to it. They don't care about player welfare, man. So yeah, it's not right, but it is what it is. But yeah, moving on. I was so keen to talk to you lot about the fixture calendar list, innit? But there you have it. Arsenal, Coventry City have only faced in the opening league game of a season once in 93, 94. So obviously I weren't there. I came into this world in 95. The Sky Blues won 3-0 at Highbury thanks to a hat-trick from Mick Quinn, way before my time. Hopefully that is not the case. Where transfers are concerned, though, people, let's get into this. Arsenal need to sell before signing Barcola. Now, I think that's BS. Arsenal want to sell, it should be. I know that's not quite the headline. Arsenal want to sell. We know we're in a very good financial place, but naturally, we've got a lot of players that are on wages that need to be moved on. We probably want to sell. Whether we're going to be afforded to that, I don't know. We're not the only ones in for Morgan Rogers, regardless of if he said he only wants Arsenal. We're not the only ones interested. A pretty girl's going to have a lot of admirers, right? The same goes for Barcola, especially not only is a good player, and the winger market isn't the best, but he's got a year left on his deal. At some point, PSG are going to have to ask themselves a question, people. However, though, according to a report from Sky, Arsenal will need to sell players before the summer transfer window. Sorry, I'm reading two things. According to a report from Sky, Arsenal will need to sell players during the summer transfer window if they are to pull off a move to sign Bradley Barcola from PSG. The Premier League champions want to recruit a wide forward during the transfer window, and the French international attacker has emerged as a priority target. The North London club are in the market for a wide forward and a midfielder during the window. Sky understands. However, they are expected to need to make sales before they confirm these transfers, with concerns over the squad size. The Independent understands that the Gunners are in the process of preparing a bid to test PSG's resolve over the 23-year-old. PSG are understood to be willing to sell the former Lyon forward, who has struggled to nail down a starting place in recent weeks, people. Boy, allegedly, Arsenal and Tottenham interested in signing Mason Greenwood. Arsenal and Tottenham are among the suitors interested in signing Mason Greenwood, 24, from Marseille during the summer transfer window. According to a report from L'Equipe, the French outfit are forced to sell players to comply with FFP. So that's probably where the rumours have come from first and foremost. We've seen this. Clubs need to sell players. Let's link their stars with everybody in it. So that's the first clue that this is probably BS. The former England international is believed to have the highest market value. The North London clubs are both in the market for attackers during the summer, and with Greenwood potentially available, they could make a move for the former Manchester United forward. Roma are also interested in the attacker, who's reportedly valued at 80 million euros by Marseille. He's always linked with Turkish clubs as well. Manchester United have a 40% sell-on clause in his deal. Now, again, and I'm just going to say this once, Mason Greenwood, very good footballer. Should be in the England squad. Very good footballer. You know, if it was just football, and stay with me, people, if it was just on football, right wing, up front, technical level, British, it makes sense. For me, I'm not on it, though. And it's got nothing to do with football. I know some of you are going to, I'm not even going to get into it, but some of you are going to say, oh, his girlfriend said it was cool and all of these things. If that never happened and you was just a footballer, great. For all the other stuff, dead. Mason Greenwood cannot step anywhere near this football club. And again, I don't know Mason Greenwood, but you would imagine any Premier League team that wants to sign him, especially if you've got women teams and things like that, there's going to be mad backlash. Football doesn't care. We see man do mad things all the time and they start playing football again. Football, whether it's fans that want to do the racist thing or players, this industry protects people. Unfortunately, like it's a bit of a dinosaur period, if I'm completely honest. It makes no sense. The backlash will be there. If you're asking me in my heart of my hearts, one day I think he returns to the Premier League. I can't tell you when, how, or where, but I do think someone will take him. And the backlash is going to be crazy. Now, I'm not saying this because I agree. One of the toughest things I had to understand in life is nobody cares. So if a Premier League team does sign him, there'll be screams, there'll be shouts, there'll be backlash, there'll be petitions, there'll be, fans will be doing the most. But they will, at some point, I'm not saying we have to accept it, but we'd have to accept it. For me, it's a no. I'm not down for it. I'm not getting involved in all that kind of chat. I'm not judging people, but if you want Mason Greenwood, I'm definitely looking at you very funny. But yeah, no to him. And it's purely because of the off-field stuff. And, again, we'll know about the Thomas Partey thing. Allow it now, innit? Allow it now. There was something by Romano people where he said Tottenham are not working on a deal to sign Mason Greenwood despite reports. Obviously, he worked with De Zerbi, so that was probably that as well, people. Ben Jacobs, when I asked PSG sources, it's not for sale on Bradley Barcola. So that's already conflicting from what we just read. If things develop and PSG find an attacker, whether left or right, then their perspective could change. I'm told the player is open to leaving because he wants to play regularly. So what does that tell you? He's got 1 year left on his deal. We're probably trying to convince him to stay, but he's got 1 year left on his deal. At some point, we're going to have to bite the bullet and move him on. But that also says PSG don't really want to let you go and not willing to let you go without bringing in a replacement. I mean, Mbappe went for free. And I mean, PSG, I'm sure you got your money's worth. He's helped you win back-to-back Champions League titles. It is what it is. Arsenal is a situation that's worth keeping an eye on. And for some reason, I think he goes Liverpool, where ironically, Diamande was linked with PSG. Seems like he could be going Liverpool despite bids being rejected, or the first bid. Now, the first bid is very rarely accepted in the market, as you look. No, I sense with Arsenal that Morgan Rogers is the player they're likely to prioritize for now. But if Barcola becomes available on the market, he's on Arsenal's list. Now, we got to remember, it's the 19th of June. Things can develop quite quickly, literally. Like, we woke up one day, Cucurella's at Real Madrid, Cucurella's at Real Madrid, Anthony Gordon's gone Barcelona. It's a bit of a waiting game on the best of days in the market. We don't know, we're not privy to all the information, not to mention there's a World Cup, not to mention, if you're Barcola, do you want to really get distracted? Because Arsenal are on you, PSG are telling you to stay, Liverpool are on you, probably all the top six, whether they're in Europe or not, are sniffing around. So, yeah, you get where I'm going in it. But I would just listen, Barcola and Rodgers, I'm on that. Again, we could lose Kyran Thompson, people. We spent 1.1 million on him from West Ham. Talks continue over getting him to sign a scholarship term. I like him, but I could understand if Monga comes in, who's 16, you look at the wide men, whether we rate them or not at first team level, the pathway might be blocked. And it won't surprise me if there's people hella interest in him. When we got him, it weren't just Arsenal fighting for him at West Ham. It was a bunch of clubs. So I hope he stays, but it is what it is. Kind of been fast-tracked, despite being 16, played up a couple of years. I'm sure he's played in the youth league. We actually need to replace Mertesacker. Despite that, you can see several things going on at Arsenal targeting youth, whether that's people that can help in the first team, people that are more 21s, people that are more 18s. We've bought a couple of players that obviously can't play for Arsenal in any capacity until they turn 18. So there's a lot to consider. But Romano said talks continue between Arsenal and England under-17 winger Kyran Thompson over a new deal. No agreement yet, but talks remain ongoing ahead of the expiration of his current deal on the 30th of June. Arsenal are keen to secure the future of one of England's most highly rated young talents. Several clubs are monitoring the situation as they await the player's decision. Now, naturally, I think you've got to be selfish. I want you to stay at Arsenal, but at the end of the day, we're the Premier League champions. We're fighting. There's immediate pressure. There's people your age group and above that are ahead of you. If you can go to one of them German clubs or a Premier League team or wherever with less resources and there's more of a pathway, you owe it to yourself to go do that. It reminds me of, Musiala left Chelsea. Look at him. Rio left Chelsea, and now look, he's at Liverpool. Yunus Musa, even. Now, granted, he hasn't probably kicked on as much as I thought he was going to kick on. But end of the day, he left us, went Valencia. There was a pathway there. Man's an international footballer now. You can't guarantee that's going to be at Arsenal. We want them all to stay, but you have to look at it objectively, innit? Arsenal are keen. Oh, sorry, we've read it already. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Eddie Nketiah is a bit of a donor, innit? You could have been there for Ghana, but you wanted to be a donor. Big up Ghana. Big up the whole of Africa, innit? Because they done their thing. Now, admittedly, I don't know the credibility on this, but this is what even though I don't do, and I need to go back to making youth videos. You know, I'm the black diamond eyes. As early as yesterday, the day before, did I not say? Somebody asked me a question. I said, bring Nathan the cat. Now I don't know if this is gospel, but he could be an 8 one day. I'd more play him in a 6. There's a lot this 17-year-old has to improve, but I think you'll hear his name, like him, Kes Smith. There's a couple man that we could grab if it's not the names we're linked with at the moment. But apparently Arsenal reportedly in the race to sign Anderlecht wonder kid Nathan the cat this summer. I reckon you go buy him. The 17-year-old midfielder is also attracted interest from several top European clubs, with Anderlecht expected to demand around 35 million for his signature. Again, not sure on the credibility of Ikram Connor, but apparently Bayern Leverkusen are reportedly monitoring a potential move for Kai Havertz. Arsenal was said to value the German at 60 million euros, while Mikel Arteta remains keen to keep him. Havertz's reported salary is also viewed as a major obstacle to any potential deal. I think we've got to keep Kai. But when are we going to have a better chance to grab 60 odd million? You put that on the table, I cannot even cap to you lot, people. Like, there's a decision to make, and I'll probably let him go. Now, you heard we bidded for Monga yesterday. It's been rejected. We are going to get him. Arsenal have had their first bid for Jerry Monga rejected by Leicester City. The likelihood is that the two clubs will reach an agreement on a fee, with Arsenal being the player's first choice. The plan is for Jeremy Monga 16 to do a full pre-season with Arsenal this summer, and then for the club and Mikel Arteta to make a decision whether he may yet need a loan move. Chelsea want to sign an attacker who is tried and tested. There's no secret they really like Morgan Rogers. Nico Williams has said, I'd sign off staying at Athletic Club until the end of my career. Yeah, right, man. No, I don't care what you got to say. He took everyone around their houses. According to Sky Sports, Jose Mourinho has given the green light to let reported Arsenal target Nico Paz leave Real Madrid this summer. It's a bit confusing. Is he on loan at Como, or was he bought by Como and Real Madrid have a buyback? I'm confused as to what is going on there, but negotiations between Real Madrid and Como over Nico Paz are on pause. Real Madrid told Como, if you want him, buy him. Como do not want to do that. Now, Hand of Arsenal did say Arsenal are monitoring the midfielder situation at Real Madrid, in which technically he's a midfielder among all the names that are at Madrid. And we've probably been linked with all of them, whether we're going to sign them or not. Probably a return for Ceballos, I know. Camavinga, Tchouameni. Every now and again, you know, we get linked with debate, clickbait, in it, like a move for Valverde or something of that ilk. Arsenal in prime position to beat Chelsea to 80 million euros forward. Arsenal have been handed a major boost in their bid to sign Ndiaye after he confirmed his desire to play in the Champions League amid significant transfer interest and speculation. I can't lie, he's been linked with Man United. Apparently, Arsenal and Chelsea are among the clubs understood to be interested in acquiring Ndiaye this summer. If we get Morgan Rogers, I don't think we get Ndiaye in it. We'll probably go for someone that's more of a wing, traditional inside forward winger, whatever have you. Although he has hinted that a move to the Emirates Stadium would be far more appealing than linking up with Xabi Alonso in West London. He hasn't actually said that. He said he wants to play Champions League. Journalists are doing what they do. Everyone's going to be watching the World Cup. It's definitely a big opportunity for me. You don't know where football will take you. As I've always said, I want to be the best player. And to do that, you have to play at the top. I want to be playing at the top level. I want to be playing Champions League football. Obviously, Chelsea are not playing in Europe in any capacity. We're said to be keeping tabs on Ndiaye's situation amid our desire to sign a new left winger. Both Manchester City and Manchester United are also interested in finalising a deal for the 26-year-old. Arsenal want to sign Rodgers as they look to bolster the attacking options available to Arteta, but a deal for Ndiaye could be pursued if Aston Villa refuse to sell the England star after his participation at the World Cup. It's easy to link us with everybody, innit, whether it's truthful or not, people. We did see rumours of 50 million euros plus Gyökeres to sign Julian Alvarez. Apparently, Arsenal have not held a single conversation with any club regarding a swap deal involving Victor Gyökeres and either Morgan Rogers or Julian Alvarez, despite the news increasingly circling. Arsenal Football Transfers understands that suggestions that Arsenal are willing to entertain offers involving Gyökeres in exchange for Rodgers or Alvarez are completely unfound. Where was he linked with a potential Aston Villa move? Obviously, with Morgan Rogers in mind. I don't know about that, but I think we go for a striker next summer or in time to come. I think that's something we won't do now. Carasas has been linked with a move away from Real Madrid. Apparently, he's a target for Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United. You do have to kind of consider any defender links because there must be an element of truth in there. Arsenal have been dealt a blow in any pursuit of Kenan Yildiz. We've heard this before, people, but yeah, that's a myth. And is there anything else where Arsenal's concerned that's come out as we've been speaking? I don't know, people. £6,500 to be sat next to behind Mikel Arteta at the Emirates. I mean, if you got it, like £6,000 is like £6 to certain people, but it's a bit mad, isn't it? Don't you think? But yeah, people, that's that. Now, let's get back into what you lot are saying. I thought, let me just, because I guess it just looks a bit crisper and cleaner when I do the cut up clips. We have 75 likes. We can get 100 people. Look at all of you lot in here. Big up the Twitch gang as well. Arsenal are going back to back, you lot. Fingers, toes, and everything in between. Cross that we actually do that. What else have we got? Ops love to hate, but we're always been primetime viewing. They always tuned in, eyes glued. Boy, we have the largest female fan base in the world. What would be signed? I think you mean said. What would sign that guy say to them? It's worth discussing, but it's a no from me. And now forget that, bro. He's fucked it, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, man. If you got something negative to say about our club, like, yeah, man. Suck your mum. Simple as that. Gunners get a charity chip now. They really think they're the standard. Okay, charity chip. Won the Prem, mate. Sour. Type that without crying, man. There's always two sides to a story. Unless anyone was there who will know the real truth. I hear that. There is three sides to every story. There's your side, their side, and the truth. But, bro, when in doubt, stay clear, innit? I don't want to hear it, bro. There's just some things you shouldn't have attached to your name. I can't lie to you. That's going to stay with you for life. And again, this is the last I'm going to talk. We all know. Come on, man. We know we did that. We know we saw that. We heard the vids. You know we did that. If I'm honest, I think the victim's father pressured you. Thought, you know what? Remember, this is Mason Greenwood. Because we remember the talking points. It kind of got brushed under the carpet. I'm not hearing that, man. Listen, if it was just footballing ability, if Rashford, definitely not Rashford, if Greenwood never done this, just talking purely football without trying to ignore the obvious that we've discussed, of course, Greenwood will get it done today. Unfortunately, what's happened has happened. There's a stigma on your name. Fuck that. I'm not even entertaining it, bro. So, yeah, man. People saying we should sell Noni. Do you guys even watching? Absolutely terrorizes teams and is improving all the time. Relax, you lot, man. I think he's referring to European comps. Spanish fans root for other Spanish teams in the Champs League because they want their league. Bro, everybody can do what they want to do, bro. Like, I just don't care. I just care about Arsenal Football Club. Who cares? Don't sell Noni or don't sell Ethan. We're not selling Madueke unless there's an opportunity where Arsenal make their money back or a little profit, which I can't imagine any. Hope Newcastle, if people keep stealing their targets. Noni's not going nowhere. You're a valued squad member. I'd say Noni Madueke, you're the last kind of one of them signings I want to see, though. And then for England, that's the best I've seen you play in a hot minute. If Arteta probes his character and says he's fine by him, then that's pretty bad. Nah, dead. I'd rather sign Rashford left wing and a pacey striker. I'll give that. I love Blackgate. Love for the super chat, my boy. Don't ever say sorry for being late, but to read out your super chat, sorry I'm late. And this may already been discussed, but it's an absolute hard no on Greenwood. We are a classy club. I don't want to associate. Please sell Havertz. Well, give up on Awesome and apologies, man. I'm not forcing Kai out. Kai, I've said this before. If you branch our team or our squad into three sections, yeah, who I would describe as unsellable. Bukayo Saka, I know the form's not there, but realistically, whatever you get for Saka, you need to be taught. We're not going to get a Yamal, Elise, all of these kind of things. Saka needs to get his act together, but Saka, you'd be that. Rice, you're defo that. Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, David Raya, you're defo that. I would say Timber. Obviously, everybody's got a price. Have I said Raya as well? Everybody's got a price. But these are players I'm not entertaining unless it's something stupid. Then you've got what? So that'd be untouchables. And I'd then maybe just not leaving. That's my Lewis Skelly's, my Hincapie's, my Calafiori's, these kind of Zubis, these kind of ones. Then there's players that are available for the right price that I wouldn't sell. I mean, that I would entertain. I wouldn't force Odegaard out. But you have a decision to make owing to his contract and this Roger stuff and Eze stuff and us wanting to evolve. There's pros to keeping the man regardless, but everybody's got a price. I'd also throw Kai Havertz and Mikel Merino and all of that. Then and all those kind of players. Naturally, you can see the kind of players that need to be thrown into that. Then there's players that just need to go there past their sell-by date. Unfortunately, that is one of you, Trossard or Martinelli, depending on what we do, maybe both. Obviously, unfortunately, I wouldn't, to be fair, Trossard, Martinelli, Ben White, I wouldn't even throw you lot into that. It's more Gabriel Jesus, Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, yada, people. So, yeah, man. Paz is a baller still. Madrid sold him for like 6 mil, but have a buyback clause and first option. So it's a techie one for Madrid, isn't it? Well, for anyone wanting to negotiate with Madrid. Big up yourself, right? These guys, man. I don't know about selling Kai. For 60 million euros, I'd give myself a conversation. I think you've got to entertain it. Look, Arsenal always go in slow, then start looking to pass the blame. Not sure what that means. Gyökeres is who we should keep and get players who can actually pass the ball to their strikers. Keep Havertz. Sell the deadwood. Don't sell players who contribute. Gyökeres must stay and will score even more goals next season. And yeah, Kai's not going nowhere. He's clearly happy. He's clearly a valued member. Arteta likes him. While you do need to change, you need to be very careful when you reach the pinnacle of massive change. That's why I'm saying he's not. Notice when we've been streaming, I've been saying I'm keeping Kai. You've still got a role to play here. I just hope you stay fit. But if you bid 60 million pounds and that kind of thing, that's a conversation. I'm not trying to force Odegaard out, but certain fees, conversations. It's not the same. Benjamin White, certain conversations. Arsenal women single-handedly account for 41% of all ticket sales and stadium attendance across the entire 12 WSL. Well, I'd sell Jesus and Nelly, upgrade on them too, then sell Havertz next summer. DG, with the players left at Arsenal who were not at the World Cup, they could have a strong start to the season. I hope so, man. I wouldn't say you don't have to give up on Osimhen, but Arsenal are not signing him, bro. That's what I mean. Like, give up, and especially this market, we're not gonna go buy Osimhen, especially with who we brought in last summer. Both the positions they take up. You know, we've just brought in Gyökeres. He's on decent money. You've got Kaya Marino who can play up front. On paper, you've got Gabriel Jesus. Probably there's probably more luck to spend money on the left winger, not to mention we've given out new contracts. And no doubt when we do go if we do sign the Rodgers and Barcolas, they're going to be on bread. Not to mention you've given Saka, Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes new deals. There's talk around Raya, Timber, Declan Rice. They're going to be paid handsomely. You still, at least for a minimum contractedly, got Havertz and Odegaard for 2 odd years. You're not going to go and bring Osimhen in for the fee that whatever Galatasaray are going to ask for, much less the wages, on top of all the other business, which is why I'm saying, give it a rest, mate. Give Nelly 1 more year to us, Sutton, and if you don't step up, sell. I'm not looking at you. You, Noni, you lot are tools in the toolbox. I've given up on realizing potential in that. I trust what I see. I hope for all the best, but I accept Nelly for what he is. You might score some goals. You have a knack of scoring some important goals. You help us out defensively. You know, you do have one attribute that we kind of lack widespread and can trouble people, which is in behind. But any talk around you getting back to what you was in 2022, 23, playing up front, it's dead. You're a useful tool to a certain point. That's it. But certain offers, conversations, man. Blackgate, bro, Saka FC to the death. And he does look better in the little minutes that England have given him. Fair enough, there's only 1 game to go off, but he looked a bit sharper. I'm giving Havertz 1 more season. If he can't stay fit, then it's a sell with a year left on his contract. Yeah, but I mean, we're going to take a hit on Havertz anyways, and we all know he's not going nowhere. As Arsenal fans, Bukayo Saka is our gem. Yes, he needs to get back to his old form, but you'll never find a true gooner who doesn't believe he can get back there. Fair. You don't have to be a perfect human being. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet, but there's just some things less than that. Havertz will play more games if he's fit over Gyökeres, bro. As long as we win the Premier League title, who cares, bro? If we get 60 million, he needs to go. Martinelli doesn't score enough goals from left wing. He's lost confidence. Reality is he's going to have to find his own then. As much as I love our captain, I'll say this. If Paz or Rodgers are being eyed to play 10, then I trust Arteta and better if they choose to move Odegaard on. Odegaard and Saka need big seasons. Now, Saka's not going anywhere, but Odegaard, like, you got Rodgers. I hope Ranieri's still here, but you got Rodgers, you got Eze. There's competition. And the only things keeping you in the team is obviously you're a decent player, but you're not in the Martinelli. What's the word? You're not in the same box as Martinelli, but when I speak about Martinelli, primarily now, I talk about pace and going backwards. Whatever way you shape it, for an attacker, if you're talking about him helping out defensively, you're crossing over to, you don't really want to cross over to that. If I'm honest with you, Odegaard, as much as, on your day, wonder of a left foot, have shown a capacity to score goals, rate your thing, don't really care for this captain shout, because whether I think he should be captain or not, the people that see him day in, day out, have made my man captain. You're in the team because of what you give Arteta systemically, the press, you're where you stand in certain areas. When we can't just answer the question of you're just in the team for passing, assisting and whatnot. This is what I mean. You're crossing over, becoming a tool in the toolbox. Poll results got me side-eyeing this chat right now. Not going to lie, I miss how we used to play in 2022-23. That preseason blew my mind when Jesus came in. What a baller. I feel sorry for Gabriel Jesus, man. The second injury looked like it took. And the little things he had, or what was left as a result of the first one, yeah, man. I want him to go Italy. I reckon he goes back to Brazil. I want him to go back to Italy because I genuinely think whatever I feel about Gabriel Jesus, he goes to Italy, he will back goals. We've seen worse players do it. Arteta can't really manage Victor too good. He sees Alvarez as someone he could handle plus better age. And we're not even going to go get Alvarez. They don't want to mess with the momentum of the squad. Arsenal were offered to host games for the Euro 2028, but declined, which makes me think 2028 is when the Emirates upgrade begins. Be interested to see how we navigate that and what we do in it. I don't see Alvarez coming in when we have Victor Gyökeres. They want younger players. The fixture list at first glance look will set out for us. To be honest, we have to be eyeing back-to-back titles. It's time for the Arsenal facts. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. What else are you lot saying in the chat? You scroll up. You got them most players at the World Cup. You're gonna be cooler come start the season. The dead thing is after all of that, England still won't win. Boy. I hope an Arsenal lad wins a World Cup, but yeah, man. Straight up trade Odegaard for Nico Paz. I don't reckon Odegaard's gonna go Como, but also you're relying on the player. You gotta remember these men are human beings. Argument's sake, I'm not park our own opinions on what we think needs to happen and all of that. Yeah, you just won a Premier League title. This is like a job. You're clearly happy in London. A lot of these guys are starting families now. The manager likes you. You know, he's showing a bit of faith in. Arguably, certain man who started the Champions League final shouldn't have started potentially. You know, you're happy here. You're earning decent money. You've got 2 years left. We don't know if conversations have the fact that you could look at the fact that Odegaard and Havertz are on 2 years, 2 ways. You could look at it as armchair experts and say, well, other players in our team that have more years, they're getting improved deals. We've seen all the other contracts. These two are key players. Feels like there's radio silence. Are they moving them on? Or is it a wait and see? Or are they saying, do you know what, wait and see, we rate them, but the injuries and the seasons you've had last year, beyond the fact that we won the league in the moments, we've got to see a bit more. Or for all we know, Berta's got a long to-do list anyways. You know, what we thinking we know him and Arsenal want to do, and maybe some other stuff that we're not on info, we're not privy to. Maybe it's just when I get through all of this, we'll begin conversations around Kyle and around Odegaard. And what did I say in May? Just in terms of looking at last season, this season, and seasons beyond and evolving, I do think that's a difficult question for Berta and Arsenal and Mikel Arteta because they're important. They're important players. They will always play under Arteta if they're fit. But you've had to do without, and we've won the league. And obviously, other players are going to adapt to stuff like that. And again, I'm not no financial expert, but Saka's on 300 bags. Saliba's on something handsome. Rice is on something handsome anyways, and rightly so. Him, Timber, Raya are going to get improvements. Magalhaes got a new deal. Fair enough. It's not eye-catching sums like these, man. Not that we're pocket watching, but Wanyeri, and whether he stays or goes, Miles Lewis-Skelly have signed new deals. You brought in Gyökeres, probably on something handsome. You brought in Eze, probably on something handsome. If you do get, in particular, the Rodgers and the Barcolas, they're going to be on something decent. The club Brugalad, the Greek youth that we're signing, he's not going to be anywhere near our top earners, but he's going to be on something decent. And on paper, you're still paying Martinelli over 100k. You're still paying Trossard about 100k. At this moment, they ain't gone anywhere. You've still got Gabriel Jesus with a year left on his contract. We know he needs to be moved on, but how do we know he doesn't want to run down his deal? You get where I'm going. Not to mention, Reece Nelson earns 100k here. Fabio Vieira's probably on something handsome. So, as much as, you know, we want to retain our title, get these signings in, there's a lot of moving parts and things to consider. And this is all the things I've considered as an armchair expert, let alone we're not privy to all them infos. Smash the like button. I'm on fire in this stream, I must say. We're moving crazy, bring them more. You're greedy, but sometimes greed is good, man. With the Diamande news, do you think that's basically a free ball for us to go for Barcola? It was only Liverpool in the race, right? You hear rumours that they want two wingers, innit? And Liverpool last season, a lot of people probably thought Hugo Ekitike or Isaac, and they brought both in. I don't know if I'm honest. Diamande, they're going to get over 100 million. You know, you asked Man United with Sesko, you asked us when we attempted to get Sesko. Leipzig are tough negotiators. They make it difficult, innit? So they could. Barcola, it probably depends on the price. But for Liverpool, rumours say they need two wingers. Obviously, they brought in that Muniz guy. Diamande, technically, that's two wingers. They need a six. Can't tell you the level of caliber of six or whatnot. They need the money needs to stretch for all these teams, if I'm honest. So you could get involved. I mean, I still think Liverpool will go for Barcola as well. And you never know. Like last summer, they moved on a couple of players. What Diaz went, Nunez went. Unfortunately, RIP Jota passed away. They might have moved on another player. So you never know. There's rumours linking Cody Gakpo over move away. Curtis Jones will probably fetch you a 35, 40 million. I'd have him for the squad as well, to be fair. So it's interesting time. Spurs, again, beyond the signings that's confirmed, you know, Van Hecke, Robertson, maybe someone else. They're trying to do what they're doing. United, it's a bit quiet, but they will do what they're doing and spend some money. Us the same. City will eventually get Elliot Anderson. So it's interesting, man. There's a lot of moving parts, man. Almost at 100 likes. Keep it up, my people. Horrible, isn't it? Terminate Jesus' contract if he tries to run it down. To be fair, they gave him the contract, and as much as I'm an Arsenal fan and I want Jesus to move on, if he wants to stay, I'm not saying I want this to happen. That's his right. Like, no one put a gun to Arsenal's head to offer him that. If he wants to run it down, great. And this is where, we've seen rumors that Arsenal are taking a hardball approach with Gabriel Jesus. We want 20 million. Listen, I'm not in the football game, but I'd be amazed if you get 20 million for Jesus. That is the best thing Bert has ever done. Then, if you can get 20 million on someone that's had 2 massive injuries on big P's, fair enough, innit? But I think all options. We have to be open to a reality, whether we like it or not, that he's going to run down that deal and the financial implications. We might, in an ideal scenario, he knows he's not going to get the wages at Arsenal somewhere else, but we get a transfer fee, and that happens. And like you just said there, terminating his contract, I don't want to get there, but that might be something. I do think moving on Jesus is kind of like drawing blood out of a stone. And it's horrible to say about arguably on his day one of the best technical footballers, but it's not been his day, has it? So, yeah, man, he might run down his deal and say, you know what? If I stay fit, because I'm not saying that he's saying this, I'm not saying I agree with this, but what if he believes, I'm better than Gyökeres, I can't play instead of Kai? Maybe the manager and the club have seen with the injuries and the way the landscape of football is going, everyone's going to get their time. Maybe he fancies that going down the left-hand side. Maybe he thinks there's plenty of games. Maybe genuinely we won the league. Why would you want to, leave it when it's getting wavy? Maybe he wants to do that. Maybe he's considering that. And also the fact that if I run down my deal, I become a more attractive proposition to teams, whether that's in Brazil or Italy, because there's no transfer fee. And he knows he's not going to get whatever he got at City or Arsenal. But that club that wanted to buy him when he had a year left, fast forward 12 months to his free transfer, they might give him a bit more in terms of his weekly wages. They might give him a longer, maybe if he was going to get a 2-year deal, he might get a 3. I don't know, man. So Odegaard, tired of this guy. As fans, we can dream. We never thought we would sign Ozil, Sanchez, Aubameyang back in the days. Hopefully, Berta can deliver again. I'm not going to lie. Of the 3 there, the only ones I didn't believe was Ozil, because that was a shock. Sanchez, I believed, but I kind of dismissed it when Liverpool got involved. Them times that we actually used to pip Liverpool to signings. Aubameyang, great player, but yeah. Odegaard is not going anywhere. I can promise you that. Fair. And I'm with you with that. Like the video, people. Subscribe if you haven't. Big up. SI, I hate the team you support. Well, I don't hate Man United. I hate your fans, but you clearly got great taste in football commentators. There's absolutely no chance Odegaard goes Como. Have some respect for your Premier League winning captain. Do you know what? From a lifestyle point of view, Como looks like a lovely place to chill, man. Glad to catch another one of your live streams, DG. The fixture lists are looking good for us. Now we need to make those statement signings. We need to go back-to-back next season. Come on. Leao or Nico would be a good fit for the left side, Bradley. Michael, I'm not going to lie. If it came down to Rafa Leao or Nico Williams, I'm more on Nico Williams, if I'm completely honest. But then I'm more on Leao because at the end of the day, Nico Williams, for me, and I know you shouldn't look at it like this, you took us, Barcelona, all these teams around the houses. Like, even if you're the best thing since sliced bread, I just don't want to hear it no more, if that makes sense. Hyper appreciate you. As the man has said, smash the like buttons, man. So, yeah. Appreciate you. What else have we got? Yo, brother, when just get 16, 17-year-old players? I'm not sure specifically. They're both dead. What are you referring to? This is why Real Madrid and Barca are so big, because they've been able to increase their stadium. Yeah, bro, mad. It's absolutely mad. We have to get Gabriel Jesus, Trossard, Martinelli, Norgard, and White off the wage bills this summer. You know what? I wouldn't mind Norgard staying. Like, if you're going to be one of them good youths, you're around standards, I won't cry, because I don't think, obviously, he's going to be moved on. But you're not, every little helps. And I'm a bit hypocritical to what I just said, innit? But you're not breaking the wage bill like that. Like, if you move on to Fabio Vieira's, the Gabriel Jesus's, the Trossards, potentially a Martinelli, potentially a Benjamin White, no one cares. Now, I think Norgard and Kepa are going to cut. Not last season, because the season's just done, but the year before, Kepa was playing week in, week out for Bournemouth. Norgard was starting week in, week out. A career is short, and before you know it, it's done. I reckon they're going to say, you know what, I won the league, I had a great time at Arsenal, I played in the Champions League, I've done a lot of things where I thought I wouldn't have the opportunity, and more so in Norgard's case, not Kepa, because he's been there, done it. I'm just going to go somewhere, whether that's a next Premier League club, who knows, it could go back to Brentford, or a next club somewhere else. Signing on fee would be massive for him off a free transfer. You get it? You understand it? 48% of you deserve gunshot. We all heard and saw well gone, but you still want, man. Yeah, I see how and why Party was chilling with you. He was blood crazy. This last 3 seasons, I've never been more excited in the transfer window as an Arsenal fan. Not gonna lie, I feel blessed to be an Arsenal fan these days. Exciting times. We deserve it, whether it works out or not. We deserve it, man. Yeah, Odegaard is done out here. Love captain Arsgaard, but he has genuinely regressed now. But hey, Tony, shut up, man. You're my guy, but shut up, man. I see you trolling in the comments all the time. Tony, just shut up, man. Shut up, man. There's one bit of yibba yabba. I don't mind Odegaard staying for leadership purposes. The only things I want out of this window are Bawardi and not to sell Ethan. The rest I trust and Arteta and better. Some unpopular decisions are going to be made, man. I do think Diamond's going to be utilised a bit more. What I want to see is obviously Diamond get more minutes, obviously be managed accordingly, but get more minutes. I think whether he's able to or not, the right wing thing is him. But kind of like you see last day of the season, he played against Crystal Palace. For us, it was quote unquote a dead rubber. The league was wrapped up. But for him, that was a good test. You're playing bare IC3 midfielders, are horrible to play against Glasnier's system. We need to test him a bit more in midfield because he's not ready to consistently play in that midfield role. That's why do you think you saw Wenger bear these man that ended up playing centrally? They were playing out wide. Would you take Spence at right back? If obviously we're not going to get him, but I would take Spence in the squad. I can't lie. That's left back and right back cover. You're not going to play that much. Nico didn't climb on the boat when Arteta called ship has sailed. Enjoy Bilbao. And I know it's wrong, but that's where I'm at. I just don't want to hear it. I've always liked Norgard. We didn't even get to use him. He was quality player and captain. I think he's been horrible. He's been horribly done, but yeah, man, he must have been rubbed. Nico's scared he can stay on that side. Lock in or get locked out. I'll be real. I'm picking Leao over Nico Williams, DG. I'd rather the Nico, but he's a yeah. But that's why I said I'd rather go with Leao because for what I've been just talking about with Nico Williams, Leao, I don't really rate it. Like, I'll be gassed. I'll be happy. I just think you're another tool in the toolbox. Like Noni and Martinelli have the ability, and Rashford, your quality isn't in question. And obviously, I have to give someone a chance to show me different, but you're not going to do it for 20, 25, 30. I'm not asking everyone to do it for 38 games. I need people like this, especially in attack. In isolation, Leao is not a bad player. Neither is Noni. Neither is Martinelli. Neither is Trossard. Neither is the current version of Bukayo Saka. Saka's irrelevant because I'd still believe in him. And so is Diamond because he's young. But the problem is, as a collective group, as I said at the beginning, you might have had your moments. That level of consistency hasn't quite been there. I'm not expecting you to. There's obviously going to be fluctuation. You know, Haaland started the season great, got 20 goals. You know, such is Haaland, and the people forget the fact he's human. I think he didn't. I could be making all this up, but I'm sure he didn't score for about 7 games or saying, what's going on with Haaland? Got back to scoring. And look at what he's... And many a striker in this league, if you could guarantee them last season or now, 20 league goals, you say, cool. I'm not saying it's amazing, but Arsenal fans, if you could guarantee Gyökeres got 20 Premier League goals, you would do that. Sesko at Man United, you would do that. Liam Delap, couple Chelsea fans probably sell their souls. Dominic Solanke, you would do that. I'm missing out. So, well, Isaac as well. Isaac's a fitness thing, if I'm honest. And him staying fit is a big, big plus. Saka needs to be moved more centrally. Can we start with this? Do you know what? Leao has done one of the coldest skills I've seen, man. I remember, I can't describe it because obviously the camera won't allow me to stand up, but a ball came over the top here. You see like the side of your foot? He's kind of like, it's come over the top and he's taking a touch, but he's taking the touch where he's not broke his stride. I remember seeing that. I was thinking, right, that was cold. Can we stop with this Leao and Nico nonsense? Both fair weather players who want to look cool, but not fight when it gets hard. Mikel knows that. No, Noni is not levels. Ordemi should play for Spurs or Villa. Leao won AC Milan the league title by himself. He's just having a bad patch, needs a new start. I hear you, but no player, they can be the difference. Even Mo Salah, when he was the difference, he didn't win it alone. Like, there's 11 players out there from game week 1 to 38. We need lions, not show ponies. This league is tough. That I agree with. I want Rodgers in the 2 10s next to Eze in midfield. I think it's going to be Rodgers or Barcola for the left wing, one or the other. I don't think we get both. Club has earned the right to make unpopular decisions. Only thing now I can't accept is if we don't get our first choice, we're making signings. We're big boys. We need to act like it. If we can't get Yildiz, then Rashford or Barcola left wing for me. Big up Don MLS. Norgard got like 1K. I'm not hearing that used argument, you know. Nah, man, he weren't used. But I don't mind because we won the league. But for me, maybe I'm naive in it. But from what I thought Norgard was at Brentford, to him signing at Arsenal, I didn't expect him to be a key player like that. But I thought I came into this season hoping Lewis Skelly play in midfield, but with the understanding it's Rice and Zubimendi. There'll be times where you'll see Norgard with either Rice or Zubi, and at the minimum, you would see last 10 minutes, last half an hour, 35 minutes on the clock, like a lot more sub appearances. But yeah, there must be something. Like sometimes things go wrong. Maybe we bought him Arteta and that they done all their scouting and analysis, and he's played well against us. He scored against us when the gaffer was here. When Brentford cooked us a couple of years back, first day of the season. Maybe he's coming like you're rubbed. Maybe he's not rubbed. This like the way I want to play, you're not able to do it. Like sometimes mistakes happen, you know, no matter how much analysis and all this shit goes into it. Yo, DG, would you be against or for getting 1 or 2 experienced players like 30 years old? 30 years old, 1 or 2, why not? Can never have too much experience. 1 or 2, why not? Because whatever I think about, like a Trossard, a Gabriel Jesus, not in the same category, but in terms of the links, a Benjamin White, Norgard, Kepa, even though you know they ain't been really players like that. There is experience there in terms because we're just talking about experience with age, yeah, because we're losing a couple there, innit? But I just want the right players. As I said, the 3 C's. I want competency. Whatever position are you? Do you look like? Do you perform that role well? I want consistency. I'm not expecting you to do it all the time, but I'm not interested if you do it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're looking shaky on a Saturday. And if 10 games, I'm seeing 10 fluctuating performances. So competency, consistency, and I can't lie, confidence. So in bad moments, you know you're a good player. When things are going great, you're not feeling yourself too much. Just, yeah, man. 265k. Even Jesus in the Bible ain't forcing his way out on that. This guy, man. Appreciate you, Els. It might sound wild, but I see a little bit of Doku in this new manga. Yeah, hopefully his consistency and his decision making is a lot better. But yeah. Calling Rafa a tool in the toolbox is disrespectful. Man won a league title. You're just getting emotional, bro. It's tool in the toolbox. Tool in the toolbox. Said what I said. If he signs, give him a chance, but you can't guarantee me he's going to look lit. You getting fooled. I'm not getting fooled by flashy skills, bro. Can't lie to you. In fact, fuck it. We're not, you know what? In fact, fuck it. We're definitely not going to sign Leão. So, yeah. What are you talking about? Havertz out, so you have to put clickbait shit to get people to come to your live. Yeah, man. Lasting legacy. Yeah, great stuff, man. Have a great Friday, man. What else have we got? Have you seen the rap song Leão made? Bro, I'm not going to lie. Leão fits the demographic in it. He does. And he's always wearing Arsenal shirts. Like I said, if we signed him, give man a chance. I got time for you. But if you notice, I've literally said, I wouldn't mind Leão. I wouldn't mind Rashford. I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I want Barcola, but it applies to him. I'm not interested in how good you are. I know how good you are. I know your level. But that level of consistency, purely because potential doesn't move me anymore. Obviously, Max Dowman, Monga, a couple of exceptions to the rule, but these fairly experienced players, potential don't move me. You need to realize it. And as I said, we've got a couple of these players where we say, if Arteta can do this, if he could just do this, if his decision-making that, in our attacking unit. And suddenly, when you're saying that about 3-4 players across 38 games, much less how much is in the Champs and in the League Cup and the FA Cup, we need stardust. We do need individuals to now make the difference. I felt that in the Champions League, obviously different, but I felt that a bit like that in the Champions League. I felt like that in the League Cup final. I have felt like that several times across the season. And as I said, everyone's had their moments. But in the last 3 years, well, exclude this year, in the last 3 years, or even 4, it doesn't shock you if Martinelli and Trossard have good seasons or bad seasons, or have good games or bad games. And the way we talk about our defense is the same way I want to talk about my attack, because we know what we're getting. We actually know what we're getting from our attackers, to be fair with you, when they're going that way. Rashford not only feeds kids, but he scored goals for Barca. A little 40 mil. Look at you. 40 mil and then probably 200 odd grand a week. Slap 150 on Vinny, test the waters. Bro, if for Arsenal to sign Vinicius Jr., they have to commit to smashing up their wage structure. They have to. Vinny is the one that would be the clearest upgrade at left wing. The market opportunity might present itself to us. This Monga signing has probably called our interest if we find out Leon in the long run. I'm just ready for the season to begin. This window is stressful. World Cup is making it worse. I'm too invested. Brother, how are you stressed about the transfer window? How are you stressed about the transfer? Rashi, nah, DG, we need to move on from them man there. Barcola, Vinny, Rogers, higher ceilings. Even Leão, Arteta would make him better. Fair play. Fair play. Get rid of Martinelli and Trossard, bring in Vinny. You don't know. Listen, I will make an apology stream if it ever happens. The Vinny thing, I'd love it, but in reality, and what do I know? I'm just an armchair expert, but really, that's about 600 bags a week and a transfer fee. And let's have it right, that has ramifications because when it comes to negotiating, provided they're still here, Rice, Saliba, Saka, this one, that one, they're not all going to get Vinny's fee, but you can see where I'm going with this. And even for other players, if we sign off that of this caliber or better. So the dream is free. The hustle's so simple. Of course, I want to sit here. Yo, Mbappe, come out of Real Madrid. Come sign for us, man. Come be the next Thierry Henry. Vinny, let's do this. The only one of them kind of guys I had some level of, and I was still pessimistic, but some level of, oh, yeah, you know what, there's a deal to be done, was Rodrigo. And unfortunately, did he not break his Achilles or ACL or something? So that's a myth, man. Signing Vinny not only means smashing the wage structure, it means smashing the dressing room and smashing basically everything this great club stands for. So no, I've got no concerns about that though, if I'm honest. I'm stressed because I want us to be the best in the window and on the pitch. True, but just tranquilo. Why stress over what you can't control? As much as we do about football, that's cool, man. It's not how the window starts, how it finishes. Remember last season, Noni came in. Eze was looking like he was going Spurs at a point. Gyökeres, there was an impasse with Sporting. Then what happened? Just cool, man. I know, but that's cool, man. By all means, if it gets to the end of the window and nothing's going in that we need to, yeah, lose your shit. But that's tranquilo, man. Tranquilo. I'd say this year is different because it's the first year. Normally, I'm happy to take a break from Arsenal, but this is the first year. Yeah, I wish the Premier League was kicking off tomorrow, bro. Selling Odegaard and use money on Kroopy, fair swap, no. I mean, it depends how far the cash goes, bro, but yeah. Vinny wins us Champions League. Not going to lie, we need a Stardust player as soon as possible. 100%. Like, you got to learn from people better than you, innit? Bayern Munich have that with Elise. You know, PSG got that in abundance. You either put the money down or you be a bit cute and clever. Like, Elise was there at Crystal Palace for everybody. Obviously, he's gone to Bayern and taken it to another level. You look at Vinicius Jr. As soon as he showed some promise in Brazil, Real Madrid, quickly, do it. He was at Rennes. Rennes Academy bring through so many good players that we know of. They got him, bang. This is what we need to do. Barcola was at Lyon. He went PSG. So you've got two options. You either do that kind of approach, or when they end up where they end up, make sure you got your 80 to 100 odd million, maybe more, maybe slightly less, but that kind of range to play about with, innit? If you ain't got that, I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah, you can never have too many. But I rain on nothing. Shut up. You lot replying to Warren the crazy. Tonali and Anderson go on to City watch. Gone to City, I should say. I just caught what he said. Probably. Right now, Spurs looks like they have a free hit at Tonali because Man United are doing other things. Arsenal seem to be doing other things. There's somebody else that was linked with City are on paper, other things. Who knows? Now, if you're Tonali, are you just, all right, cool, Spurs are saying whatever, the other interest is shaky, let's go over there? Or are you, I like what you're saying, telling me, De Zerbi, we're both Italian, we're relating, you're telling me how we can match up, you're showing me that, you know, you're dangling the carrot of Spurs being crap, now we're trying to make them good. The London aspect, whether he's got a wife in it, that's obviously an attraction for a lot of people as well. I'm on it. Is he going to say, yeah? Is he going to say, all right, let's get it done? Or is he going to say, yeah, I'm going to shout you? Maybe he's hoping for clubs in Italy. You know, let's just say, for argument's sake, even though I don't think the Italian teams can afford him, but the Italian teams, you know, Europe's elite, for argument's sake, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, PSG, those kind of clubs. Maybe hoping United spin the block, City spin the block, Arsenal spin the block. Obviously, Chelsea are rubbed, but maybe even a Chelsea. Like, maybe he's waiting to explore all options. That's typically what happens. Because if Eze truly, clearly Eze had talks with Spurs and there was some level of, I will go and kick ball there. But it was, I don't know, I'm not really forcing it type of thing. Arsenal came in, bang, I'm gone. So there's a lot of moving parts, man. It's the 19th of June. We have to take time, man. We have to relax. That's going to fall on deaf ears, man. I thought we could have considered Malik Fofana, but he had an injury hit season, so couldn't see much from him, sadly. But you lot are replying to him. Spurs are in for Wharton too. I mean, fair enough. That's a big boy signing. But, you know, again, Tonali, Newcastle are going to say ballpark figure, 100 million. Same with Nottingham Forest, Elliot Anderson. Same with what we had to do with West Ham. There's another one I'm missing out. Wharton of Crystal Palace. And then 12 months from now, there's going to be a next one. But you look at Adam Wharton, he was at Blackburn. They took a chance. Bang. Look at his P's. Nottingham Forest, they saw Elliot. All right, Newcastle need to sell FFP. They're saying 35 million. We're bringing him. Now you're about to get 120, etc. This is going to happen. So again, you either scout these guys when they're emerging, before they end up where they end up, and then you have to pay the price tag. Or once they went, like Rodgers was at Middlesbrough, Villa took a chance. Villa are gonna make more. I'm sure they got him for 6 to 8 million, maybe 10 tops max. They took a chance. Obviously, you're gonna make 100 million. So you either are prepared to part with that money or find these guys before they're doing what they're doing. So yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. Newcastle want Martinelli. Apparently, tell them to pay 70 million. They got Doso, bro. It'd be interesting to see the fees. Whether I look at the current game and what fees players are going for, regardless of their ability or whatnot. But we got Martinelli for 6 million. They might settle on 50. Odegaard was I'm just saying Odegaard because it's an easy one, isn't it? Odegaard, you grabbed him for 30 million. For an extra, I'm not saying he's going for 50, 60, but you got conversations. I'm happy I'm not Bert or Mikel Arteta or any of them, but yeah, it's interesting to see, man. I would swap Tonali for Martinelli. Try throw Trossard in there and then try sell Martinelli and get some peas, man. So yeah, man, it is what it is. But yeah, on that note, though, people, man, we've been here for 90 minutes. It's a Friday. If you're in the United Kingdom, the weather's nice. I'm sure you don't want to waste time listening to the guy. As usual, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, appreciate you lot. Do make sure you're subscribing and whatnot. Everyone who's subscribed, smash the like button, engaged. The silent viewers, I appreciate you lot. You know, there's always content, people. Now I got to go and do some live admin. But yeah, it's always a pleasure, man. You know, it's always a good talking point and celebrating the differences of opinions. So it's difficult to say bye to you lot. So I'm just going to say one love, stay safe, stay blessed. Hope you and your loved ones stay in good health. Enjoy what's left of the day. Check out the rest of the other content in a bit, man.